Tomorrow, there will be a lot of people. A lot of improvement. Your mind with yourself better. This is the most important point. To practice Dhamma and carry on depends on whether your mind is awakened or lost in the world of thought on and on. Lost in the world of thought couldn't help you to see the truth, because what you think is not real, is not the truth. The truth cannot be thought of. The truth needs to be seen, to be witnessed. If you want to see the truth of your life, you don't have to search for anywhere else. Just learn within your body and mind. Without the body, you cannot exist. Without the mind, you're merely a stone or a tree. So try to learn about yourself. Dhamma is not far away from yourself. It's not about higher power or any such thing. Higher power, is there any higher power? Actually, it exists, but it's not essential to Buddhists to place an importance on, to prioritize it. The things that we need to prioritize is the Four Noble Truths. If you want to learn about the Four Noble Truths, first of all, you need to become self-aware. If your mind wanders off to other places, you wouldn't be able to learn the Four Noble Truths, because the first thing is to see the suffering. The suffering is basically the five aggregates. You can actually learn the outside abstract and physical part outside the body as well, but this is high risk. Like when you want to see other people's mind and body, it can make you feel bored out of these things, but it's very risky, because most of the time when you looking outside, it increases your dopamine. Sometimes you can fight against it. If you read the text would say that they mention about the Dhamma within and Dhamma outside. For example, if you keep contemplating within the body, you could see only foul things and suffering that suppress our mind, suppress the body. The mass of substances coming out and in, there's no us, though, no them, no animals. But if you're looking outside, you see a beautiful girl, you keep on looking at her, you're likely to become restless and your mind wander off to those things. So that's why a lot of masters suggest us learning within our body and mind, not outside. In theory, you can actually learn outside, because the outside matters also portrays the three characteristics, but our strength wouldn't be enough, because your samadhi is not enough. If you learn about the Dhamma outside, looking at other people or animals, it is very risky that you'll mistake it, because your samadhi will be lower very quickly. So try to keep looking within yourself, observe within yourself, then samadhi will be better. For example, if you just keep on trying to be aware of your body, for example, body breathing in, body breathing out, trying to be aware of it. What's animal making that noise? Oh, that's actually children, not dog. I thought that there was dog barking. Don't mention it, that's okay. We cannot forbid that those children. That's why I don't allow children within the Dhamma hall, because if they sit for a while, they cry, and your samadhi will be collapsed. I thought it was dogs in British monastery, like Muan, and their names are Muan and Moji. For example, if you heard the noise outside, the noise actually arises and falling away as well. But there's a lot of chances that your mind wander off to the outside, and you will wonder whether it's a dog noise or human noise. So, but if you keep on learning within yourself, body and mind, it ends there. For example, if you keep on learning about your body, you'll see that this body is not something beautiful. It's, is it beautiful? Is it clean? For example, waking up in the morning, what do? You have to clean all the dirt out because you have been collecting it all night. Therefore, you need to waking up and cleaning your body, teeth, brushing your teeth, and excreting things. So the body is all comprised of four things and a lot of burdens that we need to carry from head to toe. Like in the head, we need to decide which hairstyle we need to do. We have to wash our hairs. Some people need to dye their hairs, change the colors, and put a lot of conditions on the hair and gel, styling gel as well. So even if a strand of hair costs a lot of burdens and expenses, and not to mention all parts of the bodies that all burden. When I was lay people, I keep contemplating on the body and I think that there's a lot of burdens within the body. In the morning, I need to take it to the shower and also excreting. I need to get it dressed and take it to the bus stop to go to workplace. There's a lot of burdens every time within the body. Keep on observing, I feel bored out of it because I see the truth that the body is nothing special, it's something very boring. But when I see the foldings or supa cannot really cleanse the defilements. For example, if you contemplating the body as a foldings, as a asupa, and you become bored out of it, and you you develop the divine eyes, and you could see the celestial beings. They are very beautiful. So you think that you want to be the celestial beings because they're beautiful, but these celestial beings still rise and fall, rising and falling away as well. So Asupa or contemplating or foldings can only suppress defilements for a period of time. It cannot cleanse it. So that you have to consider your suffer because of the body and the mind. Because you have them, you keep on see the impermanence and the suffering that keep on suppressing. Then the body is merely mass of substances. There are elements in and elements out. Human body comprised of four elements. And for the celestial beings' bodies, they are very beautiful. They don't look ugly like us human. For human body, is there's bend here and bend there, and there's different bumps. But the celestial beings' body, they look clean and very beautiful and neat. And I keep on observing this. The body of the celestial beings won't be suffered from the body, but they're suffering within the mind as well. Because, for example, they can become angry. Like angry celestial beings can very live shortly because they are very angry nature. Um, they look relaxed and comfortable. But most, for example, if we are live in a good condition and we won't angry with other people because there is no factors that arousing us to be angry. Likewise, celestial beings, they are very in a relaxing environment. For example, they keeping playing music and stuff, but there's no substance to it. They just exist there. But after a while, the body will be will change. Whenever I see these celestial beings, when I say this, I only see them as beautiful, but I never see them about to pass away. When they, in the text, it said that when they're about to pass away, their radiance will be smaller, and um, there will be some liquids out of the body as well. But then once they pass away, before they pass away, the body of the celestial beings um, will be dim. All the light radiance of the body will be dim because their bodies born out of the uh, boon and merit. But after one point, these will deteriorate. So they'll be able to see impermanence. Some of the celestial beings have a lot of merits. They used to practice Dhamma and they're not callous. After some time, they come to listen to Dhamma talk. But nowadays, it's very difficult to find anyone that can give talks to celestial beings. Unlike the time of Master Isra, a lot of celestial beings come to listen to the masters at night. If you want to contemplate on the Dhamma and see celestial beings, you couldn't see Asupa, you couldn't see the full things. There's nothing permanent, there's nothing impermanent, only happiness. So it's very difficult to observe, to practice celestial beings. Unlike the rest of us, we sometimes happy and happy. If that we are happy, it lasts only a period of time. If it suffers, only lasts a period of time. So that's why human realms is considered as a high level of the heart, because this kind of heart is very appropriate for Dhamma practice. So we use this human heart to practice Dhamma. That's the best. Most of us, when we think of Dhamma practice, we want to destroy the human heart. Some people like to have the Brahma deity heart or mind. We overfocus on things that make it still. But actually, the best things that we can do is the normal people, normal human beings. If you want to be Brahma deity, it's very difficult to cultivate wisdom because most of them will be stuck in happiness and peacefulness. So human form is the most appropriate for Dhamma practice. You can keep on observing within our lives is full of problems and sufferings. From head to toe, they're all suffering, all burden. Hairs, scalp, the scalps keep falling. You need to put on medicines, trying to fix it. Some women are very beautiful, dressed nice, beautiful face, but have scalp issues. So people become horrified of the scalp. So keep on within the body, see within the body, and you'll see that this body is not beautiful, it's impermanent, it's suffering and non-self. Impermanence can be easily observed, for example, in the morning when you need to do makeup, eyelashes and lipsticks, put on lipstick, but in the afternoon, those makeups fade away. It's beautiful for a period of time, then it's not. So if you have the mindfulness within the body, you see that the body is not really beautiful. It's full and it's asubha and it's not beautiful. The body is suppressed by the suffering constantly. Breathing out, if you don't breathe in, it causes you suffering. If you breathe in and you don't breathe out, it causes you suffering. Sitting for too long, lying down, walking for too long, it causes you suffering. If you're lying down, you would think to yourself that why is suffering you lying down? Look at some people who lying down all the time, who's stuck in the bed, they cannot move at all. That's suffering, real suffering. That we move here and there because we want to escape from suffering. If you can have the mindfulness to observe this, you'll see that the body is full of suffering. If you're too full or too hungry, there's suffering. If you want to drink water, you'll become thirsty, you're suffering. If you drink too much, you want to take number one, it causes you suffering. So if you keep on considering this, then you won't be too happy to enjoy the life, because even you in your early age, you'll have the suffering as well. Keep on contemplating if you're still teenage, they have their own suffering. Old people have their own suffering as well. Most of you don't really age yet. You don't know the suffering of the old people. But I'm old, and I know that young adult has their own problems, has their own suffering, and the old people has their own suffering as well. So if you retrospect, you see that there's nothing but suffering, but we're still searching for happiness on and on. Keep on searching it, it just fade away. It will only fool us for a while, and then suffering will catch us. Especially the suffering within the mind can happen very quickly. The suffering within the body we need to be observed for a long period of time, but it takes time. But within the mind, it's very easy because it changes all the time. Sometimes you feel relaxed, sometimes you feel sorry, sometimes you feel worried. So keep on observing within your body and mind, and you'll see the suffering. The suffering, once you see the suffering, that means you do the first functions concerning the Four Noble Truths. The first one is to comprehend the suffering. We witness the suffering to understand the suffering. We don't escape from it. The suffering within the body, and we see the truth of the body, which is the suffering. The suffering is within the mind as well. Keep on observing the mind on, and you see the suffering. For example, if you want something, for example, if you want a new model of mobile phone, and you see your friend bought it and you want it too, it causes you suffering already. But then if you have a lot of money, you buy it. You think that it's not to worry, you have no suffering. But when you about to buy it, you feel worried that which color, the colors that I wanted, whether it's out of stock or not, or the model I wanted is out of stock or not. Or another example is when there's a lot of ants comes to the house and you have so worried. Or when the car cannot function properly, you feel worried. And if you keep on using it, it broke down. It can break down. So anything that is of us, belong to us, they all portray the three characteristics. If you buy a new car, model car, the car is very cool. A new brand new car is very cool. A lot of people look at it. But if you use it for a while, for many years pass by, not so many people admire it anymore. So what belongs to us doesn't really admiring the body. If you keep on practicing that, us is actually a wrong interpretation and misunderstanding that is us. But if you have the right interpretation by seeing the three characteristics within our body and mind on and on, and then you'll have the right view that the body and mind is impermanent, suffering and non-self. There's nothing worth attaching. You'll see like this. Belong to us as well, belonging to us as well. The house that belongs to us, the family that belongs to us, this possession that belongs to us, the car, the dog, or cats that belong to us. These are something that impermanent. Anything that belongs to us nowadays, tomorrow might not belong to us. Back then there was a song. It's a traditional song, Thai traditional song. When we die, things will fall off our hands. The wife of us now might be the wife of others next day, or the the husband of us might be the husband of other as well next day. So if you keep on looking, observing, you see that things are come and go. There's nothing called us, actually only suffering. The body is not us. The mind is not us. The body is the suffering. The mind is suffering. The us is actually the wrong misinterpretation, wrong view, and wrong thought. If you don't have the the misinterpretation or wrong view or wrong belief, then you'll discover that there's no self. For example, if you keep on observing within your body on and on, you could see that the body is merely mass of substances and mass of elements, fire, water, air, and earth. For example, all food belongs to the earth. Elements only comes from the ground. The water that we drink, before becoming purified water, it used to be other liquid from other people or animals. Actually, we borrow substances from the world, but if we are careless and don't really learn Dhamma, then we think that they belong to us, and we thought that the five aggregates in the world belong to us. We use them now, but might belong to other people tomorrow. So if you keep on observing within our body, then you think there's nothing important, there's nothing significant, and your mind won't be suffer. Whether you're growing old, you think it's normal because it or it causes pain, and it's very normal. And if it pass away, it's very normal. So have the mindfulness within the body, and you'll see that the body is impermanent suffering and non-self. Only see the asubha or the four things can suppress the greed for a while. But if you could see that the body subjected to the impermanent suffering and non-self, then you'll be able to permanently get rid of the greed. Or if you keep on observing the mind, you see that the mind sometimes make contact with satisfied object and then unsatisfied object, dissatisfied object. We cannot choose it. If you have eyes, you cannot choose only beautiful things to see. You cannot choose it. If you have ears, you cannot choose to only listen to the good things. You have nose, you cannot choose only to smell the good odors. When these six senses make contact with the world, one, it makes you happy. You make contact with good things, it makes you happy. If make contact with the bad things, it makes you unhappy. You cannot choose them. It originated from different contributory factors. If you make contact with good things, it makes you happy. The greed arises, and you enjoy it. This is not good enough because you're drifting away. You're wandering, enjoying it. Therefore, that's why while having suffering, it helps you to grow diligence. But most people become diligent to try to get rid of the suffering instead of seeing that the suffering is non-self, not under our control. So keep on observing and knowing. It's not difficult though. But you shouldn't wander away, trying to be aware of the body and mind on and on. And one day you will see the three characteristics. When you see the truth as it really is, then you become bored and let go. The mind will let go the body first and then let go of the mind. Once it let go of the body, because the body is very easy to observe as suffering, but the mind is very difficult to be observed as suffering, especially the minds that have the deep meditative states. It can contain the happiness for a long period of time, many years, many months, or many eons, especially for Brahma deities. So it's very difficult to see the suffering of the mind. But the human mind is monkeys, sometimes happy and happy, then suffering, then happiness arises, and the happy mind arises, and it will suppress to collapse and fall apart. Keep on observing like this. So human mind is the best. Our mind changes constantly. It's very easy to cultivate wisdom. Becoming Brahma deity is very difficult. It's become empty and stay in emptiness for many eons. And Lord Buddha comes and goes for many generations, and you have no idea. So we are human now, and we have best resources for Dhamma practice. So the beginning of Dhamma practice to understand the suffering, to comprehend the suffering by observing the body and mind. Observing the mind, for example, sometimes make contact with the good things and become satisfied, make contact with bad things and become dissatisfied. Once satisfaction arises and cause you happy, dissatisfaction causes you suffering. At the beginning, you'll observe like this, but then you'll be able to see that the happy mind also being suppressed and is a burden. At the beginning, you'll see that a suffering mind is not good and happy mind is good. Keep on practicing, you'll see that even happy mind is not actually good. It is suppressed to fall apart. For example, you sit in meditation. At the beginning, you'll know your mind becomes restless. Once your mind becomes calm, you know that restless is not good, and you see that peacefulness and raptures are very good. But then you'll see that the raptures is not good because it's a wavering of the mind. Some people can lift up, sometimes levitate. Some people have the feeling of becoming like so heavy as a mountain, or very heavy for many tons, or very stiff. That's all the characteristic of the raptors. Some people are moving here and there. That's all the characteristics of the raptors. And if you keep observing this, you see that there's nothing real, there's nothing important here. As big as a mountain or levitating above the ground, there's nothing good about it. Only burden of the mind. You see that it's only burden. While practicing at the beginning, I have no masters to guide me. Only Master Luangpu Li teaching me the anapanasati, but he passed away very quickly, so there's no more masters for me. When I practice and the mind about to converse, and the body wavering, and then the mind converse, and the mind memorizes things. So when the start of the practice, I try to move my body. It's not the real practice. So that's not working. So while practicing, from the restless mind, the mind becomes develop raptures and you think it's good. Keep on observing it. The rapture is only causing the mind turbulence. So once the rapture is gone, the mind becomes happy. You see that happy mind is very good. After observing for a while, you see that even happy mind is causing turbulence, only causing struggling and attachment towards the haze of the peacefulness and happiness. You see that the happiness is also suffer, causes suffering, and then the mind enters the equanimity or indifference, and then the equanimity stays for a while, and then gone. Then equanimity belongs to the three characteristics. There's nothing about these minds. There's only suffering. Even the minds that sustain the samadhi, you think it's good. But if you keep on practicing, you see that even the minds that enter jhana or absorption level of samadhi can cause you suffering as well. Is it too difficult today? Listening is very easy, but very difficult to practice. It's most difficult since the start when to become self-aware. And are you feeling well? If you're not feeling well, you can consult doctor here. There's a lot of doctors here. Anyone can take care of this person. Where's doctors? Doctor team, medical team. We should take care of each other. We are Buddhists together. Anyone sending their mind out? You're very good. You become worried of that person. You're a very good person. See, seeing the body, of feeling within the body is very difficult. Any things that interest us make our mind standing out. You're not finished. Yeah. Try to be self-aware. The doctor will take care of her. Just now, your mind developed the enthusiasm. What's happening? What's happening? The mind become excited. If your mind, if you could see this, then keep on observing it. Now, come to listen to Dhamma. See, there's a pain and ache. Dr. Benz, come to see. Take care of it. See, the body is suffering. When you see the suffering of other people, what happened? You're drifting away. See, that's why Master told you to become self-aware of yourself, observing yourself. You can see other people suffering and you're drifting away very easily. So try to be self-aware of the body. If body moving, knows, feeling it. If the mind moving, know it. And then you see that the body is suffering. Why it's suffering? Because it's suffering because it's impermanent suffering and not under our control. If you see as the truth as it really is, and you become bored and let go of the attachment. Once the mind let go of the attachment to the body, what happens to the body, the mind will suffer. If you practice to the point that the mind can let go of the mind, then whatever happens to you, whether it's unwholesomeness, for example, walking and then you got attacked by a person, then the body might suffer, but the mind won't. You understand that the karma comes back around. It's not just out of nowhere. You have to bear the consequence of your actions in the past. Your body might be in pain, but your mind is not doesn't suffer. When the fruit of the practice is when you have no suffering. You're not suffering because you don't attach to things. To let go of detachment, you see the craving. People in the world cannot see this truth. If you see beautiful things, you crave for it. You hear good sound, you're craving for it. And once you attain it, you're enjoying it. If you don't have the good things, then your mind becomes wavering. The eyes see forms, ear hears sound, the mind thinks of other things, the mind wavers. Ups and downs, good or bad. Keep on observing, and one day you'll understand that the body is actually suffering, the mind is suffering, the five aggregates are suffering. The work that you do is to understand the suffering. When you see the suffering, what's going to happen? The Four Noble Truths, which is suffering, the cause of suffering, cessation of suffering, and the path leading to cessation of suffering. So there are four functions concerning Four Noble Truths. The suffering is to be comprehended. The cause of suffering is to be eradicated. What is the cause of suffering? Is the craving. The craving for happiness, craving for the happiness to last longer, and the craving for the suffering to go away. If you don't see the truth of the body and mind, then the craving will arise. For example, you could see the truth of the body, suffering, and non-self. You want it to be permanent, to comprise only happiness, and you can want to control it. You can see that the mind is impermanent, suffering, and non-self. You want to be peaceful all the time. So the craving, which is the cause of suffering, can be rooted from not knowing the suffering. If you understand, know the suffering, then you can let go of the craving. If you see the truth of the body, then you can let go of the craving of the body. And if you see the truth of the mind, then you can let go of the craving of the mind. So whenever you observe the suffering, then you can let go of the cause of suffering. Once the cravings go away, then the cessation of suffering will arise. So we don't send the mind to the Nibbana. The Nibbana is not the heaven. The Nibbana is the phenomena where there's no craving anymore. Once there's no craving, then the mind can gain access to Nibbana, which is the ultimate happiness. So the Nibbana is actually the peace. Nibbana is not a city, an emerald city. That's to help other people to want to have the Nibbana. If there's a emerald city, then there will be suffering still. So if you keep on observing body and mind on and understand the truth of them, then there will be no more craving. The craving for the body to be permanent, comprising of happiness, or want to control the body, if there's no such craving with the mind as well, want the mind to be comprised of happiness and permanent and control the mind. This craving happens because you can see the truth of the suffering, which is the body and the mind. If you can see the truth of the body and mind, then the craving won't arise. And then you don't have to let go of the craving. The craving will be let go automatically. There's no craving arising if you understand the suffering clearly. And once there's no more craving, then you can gain access to the true peace, which is the cessation of suffering. The cessation of suffering is not an emerald city, it's not a sky city. It's actually to come to witness, to come to witness, which is called Satchikiriyakit in Bali, come to witness. So we don't take possession of the Nibbana. We witness the Nibbana. The minds that out of craving, the minds that has no craving, will be able to witness the Nibbana. At the moment that we see the Nibbana, then the attainment will be achieved. So that we comprehend the suffering, eradicate the cause of suffering, and realize the cessation of suffering, and develop the path. It happens in only one moment. Once you comprehend the suffering, you eradicate the cause of suffering. Once you eradicate the cause of suffering, you realize the cessation of suffering, and you also develop the path to the cessation of suffering as well. So keep on observing the body and mind on and on. By doing vipassana practice, then you can observe that the noble eightfold paths needs to be completed. For example, the morality needs to be preserved, the mind needs to be preserved, your speech needs to be taken care of. So, and you also need to learn the theory, the right view, and then take action to see the suffering and also preserve the five precepts and do formal meditations, cultivate wisdom to see the truth body and mind, and you could see the suffering with crystal clarity. If you don't hold on to the five, you trying to preserve the five precepts, you won't be able to see this because you become selfish. If you become selfish, then you won't be able to make progress in Dhamma practice. So first of all, you need to maintain the five precepts, and then have the mindfulness to be aware of the body and mind. Whenever one day you can let go and can transcend the suffering and witness the Nibbana. So today when I talk to the Nibbana, so be calm, so be patient. If you don't ignore the Dhamma practice and practice enough, then you will witness the Nibbana. Nibbana is not something beyond the capacity of us human. If the Nibbana is beyond of our capabilities, then Lord Buddha won't teach us. They won't teach something that's unuseful. Nibbana is a real substance. If the human cannot achieve this, then Lord Buddha wouldn't he wouldn't teach human, and he would teach other realms. But the reason that he taught about Nibbana to achieve the Nibbana, you can in human world we can do it. Humans can do it. Male, female, or um, or other genders can do that. There was a story in Buddha's era. There was a very handsome man, which is Kaccayana, and another person, male person. He saw this Pamahakacayana, and he think that, oh, this man is very beautiful. He want to make him his wife. Then he asked for forgiveness. So if you conduct deeds, it is enough, you can achieve Dhamma. There's no such thing as there's no noble ones today nowadays. That should be all for today. What's happened? So, can you report the progress of the patients, doctor? The weather is very hot. Do we need to put air conditioner here? Actually, you don't have to be afraid. There's a lot of doctors here. Even doctors have some disagreement on which disorder or disease it is, because there are a lot of doctors. He only passed out. There's not much of the air circulation here. Nothing serious. Number one, chanting, walking, sitting meditation in the morning and afternoon and evening, trying to maintain the five precepts, see the body and mind, see defilements, see the mind moods, and also craving for goodness, and also satisfy the defilements. I can be self-aware, but not all the time. I have angry nature. I see that aversion arises from conceitedness, and I try to use loving kindness and observe each part of the body, and I like to observe the bones and skeletons. Sometimes I could see that the body is not as an arising and falling away. Sometimes there's a smiling happenings while practicing. The Paul said that keep on practicing, then from time to then you will see the truth more and more. If you understand correct, you see correctly, then you can let go. It will let go on its own. You don't have to let go it by yourself. Keep on observing the body and mind. The meditation objects shouldn't be used for many you shouldn't shoot many object of meditations, otherwise you might become restless. If you want to do calmness samadhi, use one or two objects. For wisdom cultivation, you can use both body and mind, and it will get better. Your mind is outside. You see that? If you could see that, that's okay. That's good. See? I don't see that you have to fix the mind that is outside. There's nothing to fix. When the mind is outside, you can see it. If he knows it, then that's it. If you want to fix it, that's wrong. That's when the greed kicks in. So you have to be aware of the body and mind as they really are. Do not to try to fix or change things. But if there's a if about calmness samadhi, if you're full of aversion, you have to cultivate the loving kindness. This way you're trying to change things, make it better. But for inside meditation, we don't fix things. We just know it. Number two, I practice Dhamma, the mind wavers. I need to draw in the knowing mind, become perfect. Sometimes I focusing on the abdomen, sometimes I focus on the breath in and breath out. Can you please guide me? We don't aim for calmness, we aim for mindfulness. Mindfulness is the main thing. Calmness is only byproducts. If you have the mindfulness, then the mind will be calm on its own. But if you aim for calmness, then we don't have the mindfulness. We only have the craving. Then the mind won't be calm. So practice on and on without aiming for calmness or not. If you practice constantly, then it will be good on its own. If you want to be calm, then it won't be calm. The craving is the cause of suffering. The craving is not the path to the cessation of suffering. If you can let go of the craving, then you can let go of the suffering. To let go of the craving, you have to see the truth of the body and mind. Then you let go of the craving. Once you can let go of the craving, then your mind can gain access to the fruition of the Dhamma practice, which is the path to cessation of suffering, the peace and calmness. You don't try to make the mind good or calm or full of happiness. Do not incline the mind towards the emptiness. If the mind is happy, unhappy, scattered, empty, just know so. Know with the normal mind, natural mind, with the neutral mind, then it will be good on its own. If you have the craving to be good and trying to force it, then it's not good. You understand what I'm saying? Are you confused? You can nod your head. You're becoming confused. Do you know that you have confusion? See, this is Dhamma practice. When you're nodding, you know that your body moving. The body moving knows so. Whatever happens within the mind knows so. You become confused knows so. This is Dhamma practice. It's not making the mind to be still and happy all the time. We aim for truth. Do not try to force the mind to be calm. See, you're not focusing, you're not forcing it. You see that the body moves. Kind of feel with the normal mind. Your homework is, whenever your mind moving, know with the normal mind. Do not know with a stiff mind. Whatever you do, house chores, walking here and there, doing house chore, your mind is only the observer. We don't aim for calmness. We want mindfulness to see the moving of the body and mind. Number three, you don't need to have a lot of suffering. You wait for too long, you become worried. Number three, in formal meditation, I observe the mind in the beginning, and in daily life, I try to see whenever the suffering arising. I see the aversion arising with the mind and moving towards the hate, and I have the greed to practice, and I'm drifting away, and have to start again every morning, and have greed to make a lot of quicker progress. But I try to be aware of to make the cost of the Dhamma practice. Luang Por said that what you practice is good, you don't have to fix. But what things it you have to start afresh in the morning. If you thought that yesterday you do the fourth jhana, and this the new day you need to go to formless samadhi. You have to start again every morning. That's very good, but actually you start every minute, every second, every moment. We count one every new day. We count one every second, every moment. We don't need to count 2 or 3. We start anew every time, meaning that we start anew every time. Now your mind becomes stiff a little bit. Number 1, your mind still again. You see that? Don't do that. If the mind scatter, no so. If you except when you do the calmness samadhi, if you're not calm, make it calm. If you're not good, make it good. But for vipassana practice, just know as it really is. Number 4, I practice in formal meditation in daily life. I try to be aware of the mind. I see that the mind is calm and stable. I see the mindfulness very quicker. And then when things make contact with the mind becomes neutral, and I see the mind and object are different things. I see the suffering and impermanence of the body. Can you please guide me? You're practicing correctly, but you have to be consistent till you see the truth and it can let go. It can let go on its own. You don't let go by yourself. Keep learning about the body and mind. You practice correctly. Number 5, I practice in formal meditation, chanting before and go to bed, and I do walking and sitting meditation about 30 minutes. I see the body working and mind working. I see suffering falling away whenever we make contact with the world. In daily life, I drifting away very often, and sometimes I go to the temples to practice Dhamma. Can you give me advice on how to make automatic mindfulness? Paul said that mindfulness arises from when you firmly see the phenomena. You cannot command it to happen. Whenever you see the number 5, you need to be aware of the mind that still. You incline the mind to be still. You fabricate the mind. Just try to be aware of the mind, but do not fabricate the mind yourself. Do not incline the mind towards that phenomena, otherwise you're stuck in that phenomena. Do not fabricate to be still, just come back. Be at this state of mind and try to observe mind. If you come towards that phenomenon, that state, that's too relaxed, it's too comfortable. Number 6, before bed, I do formal meditation by chanting and also sitting meditation. In daily life, I try to be aware of the body through the feet, and I keep moving my hands and also breathing in Buddha. Sometimes drifting away for too long, sometimes drifting very short. When making contact with the world, I sometimes suffering, have a lot of aversion when I got make contact with the world, and sometimes I can let go. Sometimes I can see that suffering arises. You kindly advise. Keep on practicing. If you can do it, keep on practicing. Try to be self-aware. Now you'll become distracted. Can you see that? Number 6. Number 5, you're nodding your head. Number 6, your mind still than usual. You're just fabricating it. If it's happy, no so. Peaceful, no so. If it's scattered, no so. Good or bad, no so. Happy, no so. Unhappy, no so. Keep on practicing. Do not fabricate the mind like that, to be still. You will sneak out fabricating the mind a little bit, not much. But if you can observe it, then you can surpass it. Your mind is abnormal now, a
จิ
little
ตที่
bit.
ดีคือจิตธรรมดานะ
The good mind is normal mind.
สงสัยทราบไหม
You're
สงสัยรู้ว่าสงสัยงงรู้ว่างง
you're in doubt. You're
ดูความ
curious.
รู้สึกของตัว
You're
เอง
confused. No, so keep
ไม่ต้องการ
observing
คำตอบ
your feelings.
จิต
Do not
ไม่
try
ได้
to
ถูก
search
ทุ
for
กข์สุขไหม
answers. Your mind drifting away
ดูงาน
knows.
สิ
Did you realize that?
ตรงนี้
Sweetly smile.
จิตที่ธรรม
See
ดา
here.
ตรงนี้
Now it's
มัน
normal
น้อม
mind.
ไป
It's not the mind that
อ
you
ย่างนี้ไม่ได้นะ
incline like that. No,
ยัง
that
ไม่ไป
not
ติด
good.
นิ่งๆมันไม่เกิด
Then
ปัญญาจริ
you're
ง
stuck in the stillness. You cannot cultivate
ถึงเว
wisdom.
ลาเราก็ไหว้พระสวดมนต์นะ
When the
ทำส
time
มาธิ
comes,
เดิน
you
จง
need
กรม
to
อะไรก็ทำไป
chant and
แต่เวลา
walking,
เรา
sitting,
ปฏิบัติทาง
meditation.
ตาหูจมูกลิ้นกายใจกระ
If
ทำ
you're
อารมณ์แล้วเกิด
practicing,
ความเปลี่ยน
once you
แปลง
make
ที่กา
contact
ย
with the
ที่ใจ
world and
ให้รู้
anything,
เอา
any changes within the
อย่า
body
บั
and
งคับ
mind,
ใจ
just
อย่า
be
บังคับ
aware of
ใจ
it.
นะใน
Do
ขั้น
not
ของ
try
ปั
to
ญญา
overfocus on the body and mind during the wisdom cultivation
เบ
phase.
อร์ 7
Number 7.
เบอร์ 7 ทำสมาธิด้วยการบริกรรมอยู่ในอารมณ์เดี
I
ยว
do
ขณะฟัง
samadhi
ธรรม
by
ทุกวัน
chanting
ใน
and
ชี
with
วิ
the
ตป
one
ระ
object
จำวัน
of
จะบริ
meditation.
กรรมทุกครั้ง
In
ที่
daily
รู้สึก
life, I
ตัว
try
และ
to
นึกได้
chant the
แต่
mantra
รู้สึก
every
ยังไม่
time I
ได้ป
can
ฏิบัติ
think of
พอ
and
ที่จะ
self
เห็น
aware.
ไตรลักษณ์
But I
บ้าง
feel
ก็
like
ไม่
I
ค่
don't
อยมั่นใจ
really practicing.
กลัว
I can
ว่ามัน
see
จาก
some
ความคิ
three
ด เพ
characteristics,
ราะ
but
ฟั
I'm
งธร
not
รมหลวงปู่
confident.
ทุกวันอย่างต่อ
I'm not
เนื่
sure
อง
whether I
ที่ปฏิบัติอยู่
thinking
มี
about
ส่ว
it
น
or
ไหน
not
ต้องแก้
because
ตร
I
งไหน
listen
คะ
to your
ลอง
talks
ทำ
for
ส
every
มาธิ
day.
ให้หลวงพ่อดู
You
สิ
clearly
ลืมมากๆ
advise.
ไป
Luangpu said that, can you do samadhi for me? Forget about me now.
ใช้ได้นะ นี่ว่าตอนออกจากสมา
It's
ธิ
good.
เนี่ยดูร่างกายเข้าไปเลย
When you sit
ร่าง
samadhi,
กา
you
ย
can
นั้น
observe the body.
มีความทุกข์บีบคั้นอยู่ไม่ใช่ตัวเรา
The body suppressed by the suffering is not us, it doesn't
ดู
belong to
ร่างกา
us.
ยดู
Keep
ความ
on
เป็นไป
observing
ดับ
the
ของกาย
body
บ่อย
and three characteristics
ๆ
of
ถึง
the
เวลาก็
body.
ทำความสงบก็
Very
เข้ามา
often, when the
พอ
time
เกิดความ
comes,
สงบนะ
doing
ดู
the
ร่าง
calmness
กายเป็นไตร
samadhi
ลักษณ์ไว้
and you're observing the body as
เนี่ย
the
จิ
three
ตมันจะได้พัฒนา
characteristics,
ไป
then your mind
เบ
will
อร์
make
8
progress. Number 8.
เบอร์ 8 ดูจิตไม่ได้จะดูกา
I
ย
observe the mind.
ดู
If I
หนัง
cannot
หู
observe the mind, I
ลมเข้า
observe the
ออก
body. I
ตามพุท
see
โธ
that it's as a
ช่
back
วงหลัง
that
พอเริ่มดูกาย
breathing in
จิ
and
ตไม่
breathing
ยอ
out.
มดู
Once I
จะ
observe the
ออกไป
body, the
คิด
mind won't
ออกไปทำเหมือน
observe
ฟุ้ง
the
ซ่า
body
น
and think
บาง
and
ที
like a
หมดแรงไป
daydreaming.
จับพุทโธ
Sometimes the mind
พุ
get
ทโธ
exhausted
เป็น
and
ก้อน
come
เดียว
to
นิ่
the
ง
mantra Buddha,
ๆ ชีวิตประ
and the
จำวัน
Buddha
ไม่
is
ค่อย
only
ได้
a
ตั้ง
single
ใจ
object.
ดู บาง
In
ที
daily
เกิ
life,
ด
I'm
ความ
not
สุข
have a
ขึ้น
lot of
มาใน
intentions
ใจ
to observe.
บางที
Sometimes
กระ
happiness
พริบตา
arises
นิด
and
เดียวก็
sometimes
ขัดใจ
making
มาก
contact and then
ชอบ
causes
คิ
a
ด
lot
อยู่
of
บ่อย
irritation.
ๆ ว่าชีวิต
Have
มี
a
แต่
lot
กา
of
ร
time,
จาก
a
ห
lot
รือ
of time
ว่า
like things
จิต
of
แวบ
the
แล้วเศร้า ขอ
parted
คำแนะนำ
being
ค่ะ
parted and the mind becomes sorrowful. Could you kindly get advice?
ถอยจิตออกมาสิ
Can you come back from
อย่า
that
ดึง
state
จิตไป
of
อยู่ตรง
mind?
นั้
Do
น
not incline the mind to that state of
ถอยเข้า
mind.
มา
Retreat
รู้สึก
from
ตั
it.
ว รู้สึกตัว
Become
ธรรมดา
self-aware
ธรรมดา
as you
ตรงนี้
is
เราก็
normally
ติ
as
ดสมาธิ
possible.
นิ่ง
Now
ๆ
you
นะ
start in the
ถ้าเราน้อม
meditative
เราไป
state.
ติดนิ่งอยู่ตรง
If you
นั้นแล้ว
incline
เกิ
the
ดเว
mind
ลา
to
ออก
that
มามันขี้
meditative
โมโห
state, once you come back
กิเลส
from
มัน
when
จะ
you
แรง
exit that state of mind, then you become
จิต
very
ปกตินะดีที่สุดเลย
tendency to aversion. Normal mind is the best.
เนี่ยมันเริ่มไหลเข้าไปแล้ว
See, the mind comes back in
มั
again.
นคล้ายๆมันโดนดูด
You
เข้า
see
ไป
that? It's like you got sucked in.
รู้สึกตัวไว้รู้สึกตัว
Trying to be aware of,
ใจให้ตื่น
try to be aware and
อ
awaken
ย่า
the
ปล่อย
mind.
ให้มันดูด
Do not
ใจ
let the
เข้าไปอ
mind
ยู่
got
นิ่
sucked
งๆเฉย
in that state or stillness state.
ๆมองออกไหมเราทำสมาธิเข้าไปแล้วตรงเนี้ยจิตมัน
Could
ร
you
วม
see
อยู่
that
ใน
when you doing samadhi and your mind wavering within. If you see the mind wavering like that, it means that you still have the mindfulness. If you got sucked into that stillness, then it's not good. So when you're practicing Dhamma, it needs to comprise of mindfulness. If the mind is calm, no so. If the mind wavering, no so. If you're stuck in stillness or calmness, then you come outside and you become very angry. You like doing meditation, that's okay. But once you're sitting, you need to have the mindfulness. If the mind becomes drowsy, wavering, no so. If your mind got sucked into the calm stillness, no so. Have the mindfulness to be aware of your own mind. Whenever go outside, try to be aware of the body as well. Number one, your mind got scattered. You see that? Number one, other numbers become stiff. Number seven, now you're still overgussing, forcing yourself. Do not forcing, just try to be aware as it really is. Number three, your mind outside. See that? See? Keep on observing like this. Keep on observing the mind from moment to another moment, on and on. If you cannot observe the mind, observe the body instead. You see the body breathing, the body walking, the body moving and still, on and on. Instead of keep on thinking. So that should be enough for today. Actually, today I got a fever. I don't really in it. But yesterday I got vaccinated by a doctor and I got a fever today. So you can go home now.